Hello and welcome. Here we are with Final Fantasy XIV, with Shadowbringers, I want to say 14 or 15 weeks away. I've decided to make a series of raising a summoner. How to become a summoner, how to play summoner, and as you can see, we are starting fresh off the boat in Limsa Lominsa. We are starting with nothing. I specifically chose a server that does not have an experience buff. Any of the typical shortcuts. I won't be using any of the veteran rewards, any of that. So, as a new player wanting to pick it up and become a summoner, this is pretty much what you have to look forward to. You won't be getting any of the extra perks that veteran players would typically have. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll be skipping all the main story cutscenes and text and what have you, because, well, I don't want to spoil a whole lot of stuff. The only things that I'll be leaving in, really, are things that pertain to our summoner itself, like, for instance, our job quests, our class quests. I'll be actually showing off the story aspects of that. So first we just have to go through the initial sequences here of opening the game itself, because you can't do anything until you join the Adventurers Guild and actually get sent to your original class guild, I guess you'd call it. Which is what he's doing here, along with a couple other items that you have to do. Forces you to take on one side quest. Hold on. We've got a couple of Aetheryte shards we can attune to real fast before we get started on any of that. No, actually, it won't let you do that. Okay. Now, see, back in the day, it didn't just force you along a line like this, but I guess now it does. So nobody's ever going to need any help with this initial little part here, because obviously it forces you to go a certain direction and that's it. But don't worry, it'll be overwhelmingly open soon enough. Now I've disabled all my active help text and all that, but if you're actually a new player, I suggest you leave them on and actually read the text that comes up, because that actually explains everything you need to know about the game, to be perfectly blunt about it. Like, for instance, just simple things like, how do I unsync a dungeon in the duty finder? I have level 70 players asking that, like, every single day. Whereas if they actually just read the text on screen, they would already know. Anytime this game shows you anything new, one of those active help bubbles will pop up and tell you exactly what it's all about. But if you don't read them, you're never going to know. Now, we can actually attune to the Aetherites. There we go. Now it'll finally let me sprint. Sprint was even locked out until you take on that first side quest. Down here, Fisherman's Guild. Probably the more out-of-the-way area of Limsa Lominsa here. Now, the reason why I'm running all over first and attuning to every Aetheryte shard is to get the access to quick travel out of town. To be able to just access the gate from whichever shard you want. Rather than having to run all the way back out to the town exit. It's Culinarian. Now, Marauders Guild to be up that way. Oh, cool. Sometimes that 60-second cooldown on sprint seems like half a day. Now I'm pretty sure that's all of them on this floor. Except for... Ah, okay, yep. I'll have to do one on the other side of the drowning wench there, and then back up to the marketplace, and in front of the guild where we're actually going. Come on, sprint. There we go. And as far as my character goes, yeah, I just selected all defaults. Because for the purpose of this particular playthrough, raising a summoner, it doesn't matter what the hell I look like. Now, granted, things like your appearance and all that, you know what you like, you know what you're gonna do. What am I doing? I attuned to the Aetheryte and then forgot to use it to teleport back. Alright, now, markets. And I want to say it's just this one here, and then the one in front of the guild, and we'll have Limsa completely unlocked. And there we go. Yep, that's all of them. Have access to Zephyr Gate, Tempest Gate, and Airship Landing. Now, and here begins our long journey. Welcome to the Arcanist Guild. It is here that we research and develop the field of Arcanum. Or how the hell you would pronounce that. Arcanima is the science of employing arcane geometries, intricate patterns that map the unlocked mysteries of existence to draw forth and manipulate the body's etheric energies. Ah, but if I am not mistaken, you already possess some rudimentary understanding of the craft. Shall I deepen your knowledge of our history as well? Oh, please, please, no. But you're going to. The roots of Arcanima can be traced back to the esoteric calculations practiced by the people of the South Sea Isles. It was these island folk that first discovered a method to express natural phenomena in mathematical terms. Building on this process, the existing mathematical formulae were further developed into arcane geometries, precise patterns that allowed a practitioner to weave ether into specific magical effects. The mages who invoked this new form of magic became known as arcanists, and the school of Arcanima was born. And damn, she keeps... Okay. Many such mages wishing to expand their understanding of the world, I'm sorry, took the seas aboard trading vessels. Upon their arrival in Limsa Lominsa, arcanists found themselves welcomed into the academic elite and soon secured positions in the realms of governance and council. That doesn't really paint us in a good light, does it? Get off the boat and all of a sudden we're in with the government? Politicians? Anyway, the knowledge of an arcanist, however, is traditionally passed on from master to chosen disciple. As such, Admiral, don't even try, I'll just call her Mary, counting several wielders of Arcanima among her personal staff, became concerned that this exclusionary practice would lead to the eventual extinction of the art. So at the Admiral's express orders, an official Arcanist Guild was established and funding was provided for research and training. Jesus Christ, does she ever shut up. The complex and demanding nature of Arcanima, however, remains the greatest threat to its own future. If you would continue your study of this challenging discipline, then I must insist that you indicate your commitment to joining our guild. And here's your yes or no question. Well, have you decided to enroll in our guild? Yes, of course. Your sound judgment is to be commended. Now, standard practice dictates that I introduce you to our guildmaster, that you might convey your intentions in person, but they're not here. So you may speak with Mistress Tina. She has shouldered full responsibility for the guild's leadership in the interim. You'll find her just over there by the bookshelves. Yeah, that's the thing. Names in this game, yeah, forget about it. Whatever happened to Joe, Ted, Tom, Billy? I mean, what is with this letter salad she's got? But here we go. Our level 1 job quest. Yes, I am Tina. Or so I'm being called now. Greetings and welcome to the Arcanist Guild. As Miri has doubtless explained, I am serving as acting guildmaster until our wayward leader deigns to return. I assume our capable receptionist also spoke of our art's origins. Yes, she did. Please, you don't have to retell it. Well, she's still going to give you some more info then. Allow me then to expound upon its nature. Arcanima, god damn tongue twister, taps into the living energies of ether. The evidence of this is represented most aptly, perhaps, by our ability to manifest the arcane entity Carbuncle and the manner of magic which this ethereal ally employs at our command. The core of the discipline, however, is found in the pursuit of definitive solutions to any potential quandary. Even on the field of battle, nay, especially on the field of battle, this principle takes precedence. If one wishes to make certain the question of victory, then one must apply the most effective strategy. An arcanist is measured by his ability to calmly analyze a situation from moment to moment and respond with the most appropriate spells at hand. The study of Arcanima will test your mental faculties to the point of perplexity. Are you prepared to reason your way through predicament after predicament? Yes, of course. An unambiguous response, the kind I most prefer. Let us now see if the clarity of your words is matched by the sharpness of your mind. In Lower Lenotia, you will find, among others, 3 species of pests: wharf rats, little ladybugs, and orale. I ask that you employ your skill in Arcanima to eradicate 3 of each type of creature. Leave the city through Tempest Gate, and you will soon encounter potential targets in abundance. As long as you remain focused, I do not foresee these opponents causing you or your budding abilities undue difficulty. Once you return from completing this preliminary trial, I will welcome you as an official member of the Arcanist Guild. May your judgment remain swift and clear. Thank you very much. We've got our first task. It is called Get to Killing. And this is why we unlock these first. Straight out the Tempest Gate. Now, making these kills is simple enough, because at the moment, at level 1, all we have is Ruin. This is our basic damage skill. Basically, if you're not doing anything else, You're spamming ruin. Luckily, a whole bunch of them are right here grouped up for us. The only thing we're going to have to chase around is the jellyfish. Or relay, or whatever they're called. Okay, now, go ahead and die. Just got our first damage over time skill. Bio. Unaspected damage over time, 40 potency for 18 seconds, which means 6 ticks. It ticks once every 3 seconds. And there is no cast time on this, so it really works well if you use a spell with the cast, like say Ruin first, and then as soon as that comes off, go ahead and fire. So it doesn't really matter since it triggers a global cooldown cycle anyway, so you're going to be waiting 2.5 seconds. And that's all of them. Now we have to find the Relay. However, later on we will be getting other skills that will fill that gap. River toads, we don't need you. Now the reason not to go overboard here with the killing is because very shortly we'll be getting our hunting log, which is a hit list of different enemies to kill for your specific job. And a lot of them on the list are the same ones that are necessary for quests as well. So it's best to do them all at the same time. So I only have to do one cycle of them instead of several. Okay, one more. This is the last one. It should go without saying, but like that AoE box there, any area of effect attack that an enemy is going to use on you, go ahead and step out of it. Even if you have to cancel your cast, it's not worth getting beat on for. Alright, now, actually we have returned, so we can go straight back to the main plaza to turn this in. And this here was the first step in a very long journey. However, in the early going, you level up so quickly that your job quests are probably going to overtake your main story. Especially if you're on one of those servers with the experience buff, or if you like pre-order Shadowbringers, you get a reward of an earring that buffs your experience beyond that even, and you can end up leveling just insanely fast. Okay. I see the creatures beyond the city walls pose you little threat. It is with great pleasure, then, that I formally recognize your initiation into the guild. From this day forth, you may proudly bear the title of Arcanist. I suggest you continue your forays into the wilderness and keep the pages of your grimoire turning. There is no finer teacher than the harsh mistress of experience. And to commemorate this occasion, I gift you with this hunting log. As I was talking about, the enemies marked within its pages have been specifically chosen to challenge your abilities in Arcanum. When you devise a new strategy or tactic, you now have a ready source of opponents on which to test it. And when you feel you can command Carbuncle as easily as you might move your own limbs, return to me for further instruction. I will be waiting. Next quest will be available upon reaching 5. Raisins. That buffs our EXP, as well as spell speed and direct hit rate, but that, quite frankly, at such a low level, those don't really matter. But since they're free, you may as well use them, eh? Now, in order to progress, we'll have to go ahead and go back to the main story real quick. Turn in that first main story quest, and then get sent out into the open world, where we will take a look at that hunting log. That hunting log is a great tool for quick leveling. The bonuses it gives are pretty steep. Once again, I'll skip main story. I'm not going to spoil stuff. Or rehash things that people already know. You gotta be level 4, I do believe, to take this on? Yeah. Yep. Sprint on cooldown. Now, hunting log. Right out of the gate. Little ladybugs, wharf rats, lost lambs, middle Enosia. So here we go, that would be Zephyr Gate. And that's probably the easiest level up you're ever gonna see. That icon above these creatures, that lets you know that it's in one of your logs, either this hunting log, or there are other kill logs you're going to get during the game. But anything with an icon like that, it's on your kill list, so you may as well go ahead and wipe it out. Now once we hit level 4, we'll get another couple of skills real quick. Not entirely sure why it dropped target on me there. There's some of those. Okay, there's some ladybugs down that way, but I shouldn't really need them. There's some over here as well, along with the pretty sure once I kill the third lost lamb, we'll hit level 4. And there's the final victim. Trying to run away, but he's not fast enough. But yeah, the A1 thing to remember is to keep an eye on the damage over time. That timer right there on the enemy's health bar. 6, 5, Goal is to not let them run out. Ah, nope. Didn't quite get to 4. We only need, what, 61 more experience points to hit it? There we go. Bam. Okay, 2 new skills. Physic. That's our one and only heal, but it scales with mind, and as a casting DPS role, our main stat is intelligence. Our mind never increases, so well, you can't really say it never does, but it doesn't get anywhere worthwhile. Let's put it this way. At level 70, your physic is going to heal for like 700 HP. Up to about level 20, in a pinch, you can spam this on yourself to keep yourself alive, but for the most part, you're probably never going to even use this skill at all. The big one is Summon. Caster type pet to fight at your side. What he does is he will attack with... He stays at range and attacks with a spell every time you attack. For all 4 of you that have never seen it in action before, I'll show you. Go ahead and attack an enemy. There he goes. Stop. Now, being on PS4, and I'm not sure, but I think if you use a PC controller as well to flip between these hotbars to get to your pet hotbar, it's just a simple click of R1. And you can then set your pet to either steady. If you have him on steady, he will not attack no matter what happens. He'll just sit there. See? I just attacked the ladybug, and Carbuncle's just chilling. He's not going to attack. This is useful in certain boss battles where you have to stop damage before, you know. There are certain bosses that if you push them too hard, they will instantly wipe your party. If you don't want to be doing any damage, you're going to want your pet on steady so that he won't attack, or dismiss him entirely, but then you have to go through the whole rigmarole of resummoning. If you put him on sick, he will attack with every attack in his arsenal, which you don't want, because that when they're on the bottom backdraft, under pet actions, additional effect 15 Yalm knockback. If you're soloing, you're doing things by yourself, that's not so bad. But if you're playing with other people who are trying to attack the same target, you don't want your pet just flicking that target across the field away from everybody. You just don't want that. So when you have your caster pet out, you're going to pretty much want him on obey. Where under obey, he'll only use attacks other than his ordinary gust when you command him to. Now, where were we with the hunting log? First, since we've made it to level 4, we're going to be sent in the right direction by the main story quest. So let's get that cracking again real quick. He's going to send us out to Summerford Farms, where we have some of our hunt log targets. Once again, 2 birds, 1 stone. which will in turn get us to level 5, which will unlock our next job quest, which is the main goal right now. Now let's see here on the map. Speak with, once again. He's in the middle. Okay. Good old Zephyr Gate. Now this quest will gift us an upgrade on our shoes. And we got our first fate. Just happened to run right into it. We're below the recommended level. Now, another little thing to keep in mind on the pet hotbar, if you just put your pet on sick or obey by itself, all it does is change, I guess you could call it their macro, for want of a better term. But sometimes you'll have guys like this, the puck hatchling, that upon engaging, it'll attack with an AoE that forces you to move off the spot. Like this. Watch. Immediately, there it is. Oh, now we gotta run for our life, right? There's also a few others, like those annoying, we're talking annoying, aggravating toad enemies. Every toad in the game, as soon as you touch them, they do the tongue grab. Stick out the tongue and they have a draw on your head. Pull you forward. One way around that is that if you are targeting an enemy while you command your pet to either sick or obey, your pet will then immediately attack that enemy. Like so. So if you lead off with that, you can pretty much bait that AoE to your pet. And your pets have just astounding resistance to area of effect attacks. So sometimes it can be a good idea to do that, just lead off with the pet. So he attacks while you're winding up your first ruin cast to bait that AoE, and you don't have to move, and you just murder it. That comes in especially handy with things like those frogs I was talking about. If you don't want to get grabbed and dragged in, lead off with your pet under either sick or obey, whichever your preference is. But by having your pet attack while you're casting your ruin, your pet will then become the main aggro target, and your pet will eat that draw-in and the resulting AoE attack and take just minimal damage from it. While your cast doesn't get interrupted, you just burn the frog. I'll show you what I mean here in a moment. And just go ahead and turn this quest, get some shoes. Once again, main story, we're skipping. There we go. Intelligence. These, useless to us. There we go. Now we can accept the next quest. Go ahead and do an item comparison just to make sure. Yep, same defense and magic defense, but we get +1 intelligence by having the leather sandals, therefore those are getting equipped. Wow. I'm just going to pick up that quest, it doesn't really matter. Our main goal is the job quests. And don't be afraid to be lazy and just teleport everywhere. I mean, unlocked all their aetherites, may as well use them, right? Speaking of which, I forgot to attune to the aetherite there in Summerford. Alright, Tina, what you got for us? What's in the box? Acting Guildmaster Tina wishes to assess the improvement of your Arcanima skills. Oh, Alex, isn't it? Are you eating well? An empty stomach distracts the mind and leads to hurried judgment. I must oft remind my Arcanists to take meals, so ensconced do they become in their studies. Speaking of which, have you been practicing your tactics with Carbuncle? I believe it's time to assess the improvement of your skills. As with your previous trial, I would have you defeat foes in Lower Lenotia, 3 wild dodos and 3 tiny mandragoras to be precise. Watch carefully the behavior of your opponents, formulate an effective strategy, and utilize your arcane entity to its fullest potential. I expect you back in time for lunch. Are the dodos in lower? Yes, the dodos are in lower. And what I was describing about leading off with your pet and so forth, that's kind of exactly what she was just telling us about. Only not so directly. But here's exactly what I'm talking about. See this river toad here? Wind up now. As soon as Ruin hits, watch what he does to you. So, wow. That's the first time I've had a toad not pull me in. Could this be the only toad, the one type of toad in the game that doesn't use sticky tongues? Could it be? Yes! Well, I would have showed you what I was talking about, but these guys don't do it. I could have sworn every toad did that. Oh well. Once you've played the game for a little while and you meet other toads, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about sticky tongue. It's just an annoying, very annoying attack. Wind sprites, they're on the list too. Okay, that's all the wild dodos we needed. Since Wind Sprite is on the list, may as well use it. Yeah, this is the third one. Alright, that's all of them. Time to sprint back. Now she'll give us the actual quest. That was there just for, well, I don't really know why. Because the level 1 quest, she had you go out and just kill 3 of each enemy. Why she had you do it again before giving you the real quest is, well, I don't have that answer. Possibly to give you a specific reason to go to Lower Lemurtia in case you hadn't visited it yet. Because the level 1 quest had you killing things in Middle. It's the only logical reason I can come up with, really. And back into town. Once we complete this quest, we'll get a nice brand new weapon upgrade and an armor upgrade. Thing is, we'll be replacing gear so quickly between level 1 and level 45-ish. You outgrow the gear so fast. Alright, we're back. Welcome back. It appears your coordination with Carbuncle is progressing at a satisfactory pace. Shall we test your growing acumen with a more practical examination? Our work at Meowvin's Gate requires us to inspect and record the contents of incoming cargo. To simulate such a task, I have had several crates transported to the cliff south of the Zephyr Gate. I want you to examine those crates and return the inspected cargo here to me. You would be surprised at the depths to which some merchants will sink to deter our customs agents from performing thorough investigations. False bottoms, rotting foodstuffs, flesh-eating, vile kin. I suggest you be prepared for any eventuality. So at its core, a summoner is a glorified customs agent. Second cousin to just a common tax man. No wonder summoners have such a bad reputation. They see us as the man. And here we go. Same idea here. Just make sure your damage over time is up on everything. Wipe them out real quick. Done deal. And here we go. I am not a threat. Pray ignore my presence for the present and allow me a moment to cogitate. Your reaction to my sudden appearance was within expected parameters, but I must admit I did not expect so proficient a performance against the enemies set against you. Yet, effective though your tactics were, I spied much room for improvement. As I watched you battle, the wheels of my mind whirled into motion as they are wont to do, inventing other possible strategies you might have employed. Let's see, taking into account your current level ability, factoring in the etheric constant, multiplying by the number of opponents, and applying your tactics to other potential combat scenarios, oh dear, my calculations indicate failure upon encountering threat level 9,785. And I guess here's where we do an over 9,000 joke. Well, we'll have to see what we can do about that. Though the opportune window to do so has passed, I would nevertheless introduce myself. I am Kalia, a Melvin's Gate assessor. Yeah, another tax collector. Acting Guildmaster Tina elected me to oversee your training and provide any necessary guidance and instruction in the field of Arcanima. Okay, I'm just naming you Kayla. From what I have observed thus far, you have an admirable grasp of the fundamentals. I do, however, wish to confirm one small detail regarding your choice of arcane geometries. What factor most influences your actions during battle? It does not matter what you pick. Aha, just as I predicted, and now I have the final element needed to perform another calculation. The probability of you becoming an arcanist of note is 90%, give or take 0.5%. Yes, the certainty is quite high. After all, I only know of one other practitioner who responded to my question in the same manner. It was the man who bestowed upon me this grimoire, the Guildmaster himself. While our inscrutable leader is, as I'm sure you've heard, on an indefinite leave of absence, he did leave us with his most notorious saying to date. Strategy is a tool used to manipulate one's situation into the desired reality. No matter how gifted you and I might be, however, the instantaneous manipulation of reality might cause us to suddenly become mighty arcanists is beyond our present abilities. Discipline and experience is the finest strategy in this case. I suggest you continue to focus on refining your aptitude with Carbuncle. Mastery with an arcane entity will greatly improve your success as a wielder of Arcanima. Here ends your lesson for today. For return directly to the guild, I believe Mistress Tina is awaiting some inspected cargo. And what of myself? I'm off to the fields, of course. The tactics I reasoned out earlier must be attempted in real-life scenarios. Theory is all well and good, but there is no substitute for actual combat. We will meet again soon. That sounds a lot sounds a lot like what I think whenever I hear someone say, "Watch a guide video, you scrub," before taking on a boss fight. It's like, yeah, that might help, but yeah, seeing it done by somebody else and doing it yourself in real time with the controller in your own hands, a little bit different. So let's go ahead and finish up this quest. Get our first weapon upgrade. And that'll be the end of this part. I'm not going to record every little thing that's done on this playthrough. Just basically whenever we encounter new skills, a new job quest, things that actually pertain to leveling and playing Summoner are what I will be focusing on here. Oh, since Sprint's on infinite cooldown, we'll go ahead and just teleport over. Ah, have you returned with the cargo? There you go. Yes, everything seems to be in order, relatively clear of blood and other gore. That can be something of a problem in our profession, you understand. I also had word from Kayla regarding your performance. She seemed eager to continue your training. An odd lass, I'll admit, but the guild can boast no finer mind for tactics. You would do well to heed the instruction she offers, particularly that which touches on the diligent approach to her art. Did you perhaps notice the battered tome Kayla carries? That initiate's grimoire has served her from the day she entered the guild. She has her reasons, but it's admittedly strange to see it kept all the way to her present position as Foreseer. I fear such an intense focus on Arcanima has led her to overlook other important aspects of life. As our master strategist guides your Arcanist training, I hope that you might return the favor and help to broaden her own perspective somewhat. But enough of such matters of the moment. You have done well this day. Continue your practice with Carbuncle as Kayla has bid. I will be here when the time comes for your next lesson, which will be at level 10. Now we'll go ahead and grab the robe. And in the meantime, what we would do here while waiting for level 10 is to continue the main story quest and continue the hunting log. Go ahead and knock all these guys out and you'll be level 10 before you know it. I'm going to go ahead and do that and progress until we get to the level 10 Arcanist quest. And I'll be back then. Until then, take care.